Hey, it's LowTechDerrick here. Welcome to my adventure of emigrating to Canada. So all the paperwork has arrived, and as you might remember from my previous videos, the plan was to spend summer in Canada and winter in the Caribbean. Then COVID came along and nothing really worked out. So yeah, welcome to part one. While I let you enjoy the scenery, let me describe where and where to. So this is riding across the Southern Alps from north of Milan all the way down to Aix-en-Provence, west of Marseille. Now down there I've had all my gear stored because of the mess that this whole pandemic thingy has created in my business and work life. And now that everything is sort of like coming back to halfway normal, I decided to pull the plug on seasonal yachting and go back to full-time trucking and running my online business, which is my way to find out of this mess of not having multiple income streams. Anyhow, enough talking shop for now. Let's just enjoy the scenery of round about 650 k's of pure mountain roads and country roads in one of my favorite regions in southern Europe. Having a break, let me describe the motorbike. I mean, LowTechDerrick obliges, you know, it's a one-cylinder, two-valve, nearly 100,000 kilometers, summer Royal Enfield, factory converted back in 2014 to a one-cylinder diesel engine. Yes, you heard right. She's running on diesel, 2 liters on 100 k's. She's not going fast, but she's always going. There's no electronics. With my 80 plus kilos, I'm not heavy enough to kickstart her by foot, so the only thing that's really on there is a electric starter. Hey, good morning world. This is the morning here in southern France. I'm standing on my boat. It's a big mess, hasn't moved in 2 years. Over there in the distance you can see my yellow workshop trailer. So the idea is to pick up my truck that has been fixed, it's got a new engine, hook it all together and be on my merry way back to Italy. So welcome. Well, remember, the whole project started in 2017, and now for the first time in more than 3 years everything is reunited. I'll give you a bit of a tour of my entire materialistic life. So you got my truck, my box trailer, my motorbike, my boat trailer and my boat. Now the boat trailer is from 1975, like me. That gives you a clue on my age approaching the 50s. Now it's out there. The boat is a Lanaware Alios from 1976. I modified obviously everything and tinkered on it, so that's the result of, 2 years of storage of more or less renovated vehicles. Let's go for a drive. There you go. No power steering, no turbocharger, going across the mountains. Having fun. I made the first mountain range. In French they call it la pénurie. So they're running out of diesel because of strikes and supply chain issues. I was lucky. I could get about 60 liters here. So that'll keep me going up to the Italian mountains. So a few greetings from southern France. So here we are in the mountains, second gear, no power steering, no turbocharger, but she's keeping up well. Old lady from 1986. Lucky it's Saturday and there's not much traffic. We're in the Serpentines, there's 12 of them coming all the way up. So gonna have some fun, all in second gear, just never let go.
I'm somewhere between Susa and Turin in northern Italy. Made it perfectly across the Alps here. But then, you guessed it, I've broken down again. 400 k's over the mountains. Engine works like a dream, slowly. I mean, she's a 4-cylinder, you know, you can't expect much of like 100 horsepower on 10 tons. But funny thing is, I got a new clutch in it. The gearbox been serviced. And I just went around the serpentine here, changing down from 3rd to 2nd. Bam! Off it went. It's the clutch fork. So I just crawled under the truck and took it to bits as far as I could.
I finally made it to Valmorea, the place where my aunt lives, and kind of opened up all my stuff. I parked the boat outside the village. So, yeah, it's Tetris 3D. Unwrapping what I need and repacking so that it all is compliant with the shipping line's requirements for safety and packaging. Lucky for me, I'm a licensed seafarer, so STCW etc. conform. That means I can do this everything by myself. So there will be some servicing on the truck and having it all nicely lowered in order to save on height. So here's the final setup seen in northern Switzerland, where I stopped visiting a friend of mine. So I ended up taking the axle off the box trailer and professionalized the motorbike storage with wooden chocks and not to strap it too much into the springs. The mast is now on top of the container and it looks fairly neat. So, pretty happy with that. All the mechanical worries, they seem to be halfway under control. So there she is. The beauty in a beautiful sunny day, but pretty cold actually here in Germany. I'm on my way to the Czech Republic, visiting another friend along the way. Coming in from Germany to the Czech Republic. There you go. That's warmed up for you. From southeastern Germany, I'm standing in the pit in a tractor workshop. You're looking at my gearbox. With a bit of a worry, because remember in Italy I had it all fixed, so this axle here came loose and they fixed it, telling me that the clutch assembly and everything was okay. So in between I made about 600 k's towards Antwerp, where I'm meant to catch a boat around 24th. So unluckily I got a few days up my sleeve, but the worry is the gearbox is out. So welcome to driving an old-timer, or as you guys would say, a vintage truck, halfway across Europe and take it to Canada. Here it is, my beauty. So the worry is that they haven't really paid any attention to when they had the gearbox out in Italy, that around here the clutch assembly broke, these two springs came out, and unfortunately that's been falling inside, so I wouldn't be able to put any gears back in anymore. So I'm really happy to say that, you know, professional mechanics, big shout out to them, because they seem to be rare. So let me share with you how I spent my first night here as what we call in German der Hofgänger. I'm sleeping on my boat. It's frozen on the outside. We've got temperatures at night of around about -2 Celsius. Been quite comfy though. So my boat's parked on a trailer on the yard while I'm waiting for the clutch assembly for my truck. So let me just share with you how I spent the night. It's pretty nicely equipment actually. Looks a bit messy, but it's organized. I've got my clothes and stuff on the right and starboard side. And here on port side I just flipped up my mattress, because obviously from sleeping it's been all damp. Got my 2 sleeping bags and my sleeping gear, so yeah, it's been nice and comfy all night. The hardest moments are getting into the cold bed and into the cold morning the day after. So yeah, this is an online business in the middle of a truck and tractor yard. So big shout out to the guys here at Baiva. They sourced a friction plate and a clutch plate. We've put it all back together, including fixing the compressor, which had an oil leak developed over the last 700-800 kilometers. Which was just the gasket and the simmering. Season's greetings from a Christmas market, a bit too early for Glühwein and Stollen.
Safely arriving at Antwerp and getting it all professionally washed with our certificate, so that it's all ship and shape, looking nearly brand new, and leaving detailed instructions on how to operate the truck, because unfortunately, despite being seafarer myself, I'm not allowed to actually be on board. So they will drive it on a ro-ro vessel from Atlantic Container Line, ship it to Halifax, drive it back to port, where I hopefully will see it in one piece. Ladies and gentlemen, we made it! So in conclusion, the bike ride south was around 690 k's, the truck drive north around 2100 k's, obviously visiting friends and family along the way. Net driving time on the road, 5 days. So I shall catch you in part 2, where I go into more detail on why would a guy change from palm trees to pine trees.